everyone. I'm here coming to you from hotel parent guest room where I've been for about a month now. Today we will continue on in our chakra series, finally making it to the 7th chakra, the crown. That's your spiritual center and what connects you to higher realms of being. So once we've worked our way all the way up through the body and found kind of physical security and emotional stability, we're able to open ourselves up to the more meditative center and the spiritual side of ourselves. So we'll explore that today. We're going to get started in an easy seat. So you cross midway up your shins, have your feet there supporting right underneath your knees. We'll take Lotus Mudra to start. So you bring your thumbs and your pinkies together and the rest of your fingers out wide like a lotus flower. Take that first at your heart. And close your eyes. And begin to find your breath here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And Lotus Mudra is a symbol of purity. You're coming in with an open heart and an open mind. It's also a symbol of the lotus flower that grows in mud. So it symbolizes everything hard that you've been through. All of the difficulties and the shadow side of yourself, that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, there's always a light contrasting the darkness, and that we contain both sides of that in ourselves. So feel that as you bring your hands into your heart, holding your Lotus Mudra there. And here feel free to set an intention, bringing purity, bringing clarity into your yoga practice, stepping onto your mat with that sense of openness, the learner's mind. Then draw your mudra up to the crown, right up onto the top of your head, like it's a little lotus flower resting there. And feel that openness in your mind to possibility, to things beyond your control or beyond your awareness right now that might be waiting for you and that you know will eventually become available to you. And open awareness, open acceptance to what is and what can be. And deep breath in here through the nose. And exhale, draw your palms together in front of your heart. We'll take one round of Om here. You can listen to me or you can join in if you have a friend or someone that you're practicing with. Join in together. We'll take an inhale and an exhale together, and then an inhale for chanting. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Inhale for Om. Breathe into the sacred sound. Exhale, release the breath. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, twist over to the right side. And take your left hand onto your right thigh, right fingers press back behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn your gaze, look out over your back shoulder. One more breath here. Reach up, rise through the center, untwist, and exhale to go the other way. Right hand to your left thigh, left fingers back behind you. Inhale, sits you up nice and tall. Exhale, feel the twist in your center. And look out over your back shoulder. One more round of breath here. Inhale, reach and rise, come up through center. Exhale, walk your hands forward and fold. Inhale into the back of the body. And exhale, release. Walk your hands back up towards your shins. Sweep your legs around behind you or roll over your shins. We'll find our way into a tabletop. set your hands a little bit in front of your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes under and you'll lift your hips up into a bent knee, downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels a little bit. Bend and straighten your knees a few times. Get settled in. Step the feet a little bit closer together. Use an inhale to lift your right heel up and back. And on your exhale, bend your knees, stack open through the hips. Keep pressing your right and your left hand down evenly. Start to circle the top knee a few times. And then reverse your circles, other way. Inhale, straighten out the right leg. Keep your hips stacked and try to press your left heel down to the floor. Inhale, grow a little longer out your right heel. Exhale, square off your hips. Take the right foot to the ground and then press that heel back so you get the calf stretch. Bend into your left knee. And breath here. And then little bend into your right knee. Stretch your left heel up to the sky as you breathe in. Exhale, bend the knee, stack the hips open. Begin to circle the top knee. And press evenly through both hands. Reverse the direction of your circles. And then inhale, straighten the left leg out. Try to press the right heel as close to the floor as you can get it and flex into your left foot. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen even more. Press through your hands. Exhale, square off the hips. Lower the left foot down and press that heel back. Bend your right knee. One breath here. Even out your downward facing dog. Let the heels grow a little bit heavier. Inhale, get as long through the torso as you can. Exhale, set your knees down underneath your hips. Come back to tabletop. Inhale, reach your heart forward for cow pose. Lift a little bit through the sitting bones. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Scoop the sitting bones down toward the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine, heart lifts. Exhale, round the spine. Hug the lowest part of your belly up and in toward your spine. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round in. And come back to your neutral spine. Take your knees just a little bit wider. Sit back onto your heels like child's pose. Rise up to your fingertips. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left arm. Come to a shoulder opener here. Rise up onto the left fingertips and walk them a little bit more forward. Breathe into the right shoulder. Exhale, sink down into your hips. Unthread the right arm, take it back to the top of your mat. Thread the left arm under. Raise up onto the right fingertips, press them down onto the floor to give yourself a little bit extra twist and leverage. Breathe to the back of the body. And then slide the left hand back out beside the right. Shift back up through hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Lift the hips up. Come back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward into a plank pose, shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, stretch the hips up and back high. Inhale, rise up onto the tiptoes and take little steps to walk your feet all the way up behind your hands. Come to Uttanasana, or a forward fold at the top of your mat. Bend into the knees, round, roll your way all the way up to standing, and keep your feet hips distance apart. Inhale, stretch the arms up and overhead. Interlace all the fingers except your thumbs and your pointer fingers. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Inhale, press through both feet, lengthen through the sides of the torso. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhale, rise up through the center, get long. Exhale, side bend to the left. Keep the weight evenly distributed. Breathe in, lengthen through the arms. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, press the hips forward, look up towards your thumbs, maybe a little gentle back bend here. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands come down into your heart. Keep your feet at hips distance. Sit back, weight into your heels, very, very light in the toes. You could even pick them up and wiggle them. Find the same lotus mudra at your heart. So thumbs together, pinkies together, rest of the fingers out wide. Sit your sitting bones back and hug your bottom ribs in so there's no arch in your lower back. Start to reach your lotus mudra forward as far as you can. Inhale, lift it up like you're offering it out to the universe. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your belly to your thighs, then straighten out the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank pose. Shoulders right over your wrists. Lower your right forearm down to the floor, then your left forearm. So forearms are parallel to each other like an 11. Make sure shoulders or elbows right underneath your shoulders. Rise up onto the balls of your feet. Reach your sitting bones back towards your heels and think about bringing your hip bones and your rib bones closer to each other. Inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees down, then come onto your belly. Tent your fingers to the upper corners of your mat. Press the tops of your feet down onto the floor. Inhale, peel your upper body up off the mat. Exhale, wave yourself down. Inhale, peel, lengthen the spine, lift up through your heart. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach long. Press the legs nice and active, feet pushing down into the mat. Exhale, lower. Slide your hands right up next to your bottom ribs, tuck your toes under, press through a modified plank, come back to your downward facing dog. Step your feet a little bit closer. Inhale, stretch the right heel up and back. Exhale, stack the hips open, keep the right leg straight this time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, square off the hips, lower the right foot down. Inhale, left leg long and back behind you. Exhale, stack the hips open. Inhale, lengthen, press through both hands. Exhale, square the hips, lower the left foot down. Inhale, rise to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step both feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold in. Sit your hips down low. Take your arms up high. Press the palms together. And then slide them down into your heart center as you sit low. Find Lotus Mudra again. Inhale, reach your mudra forward like you're making an offering. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step to plank pose. And then lower the left forearm down, right forearm down, come into your forearm plank. And the knees can always come down here if they need to. Make your neck nice and long. Remember, find that connection between your hip bones and the bottom ribs. Draw them in toward each other. And then stretch your sitting bones back toward your heels. Inhale here. Exhale, lower knees down, come onto your belly. Stretch your arms back, palms facing down towards the floor. Inhale, lift everything up off the mat. Lift your legs, lift your arms, lift your heart. Reach your fingers and your toes toward the back of the room, back of your mat. Keep looking down, gazing down your nose. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, peel everything up off the mat. Keep your legs really nice and strong. Spin your inner thighs up and in. Reach your fingers back. One more breath here. Exhale, lower down. One last time. Inhale, lift everything up and off the mat. Inner thighs spiral up, outer thighs rotate down. Squeeze your pinkies in toward each other. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Slide your hands back beside your bottom ribs. Tuck your toes under. This time, if you want to press through plank pose, come straight up or hands and knees. Press your way back, downward facing dog. Step your feet in close together in your downward dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg high back behind you. Exhale, stack the hips open. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, step your right foot up to the top of your mat. Set your back knee down. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sink into the hips. Inhale, engage through your pelvic floor. Draw your low belly in so you're not totally sinking down. Exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot. Step the back foot up to meet the front foot, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold in. Sit your hips down low, just like your chair pose. Reach your arms up high. Inhale here. Exhale, come up to standing. Bring your hands together at your heart. We'll take tree pose, standing on the right foot. So bend into your left knee, rotate the knee to the outside, choose on your calf, or help it up into your inner thigh. Find Lotus Mudra right in front of your heart. Thumbs together, pinkies together, other fingers spread wide. Find your balance here in your tree. Once you feel settled, bring your thumbs up to press into your third eye center, right in between your eyebrows. Then inhale, start to rotate your left knee out to the center. Yeah, keep that knee in line with your hip. You're gonna step this foot really, really slowly all the way to the back of your mat, setting up warrior one legs. So your feet can be a little bit on train tracks. Right toes point straight forward, left toes spin a little bit out, sink down into your front knee. Inhale here, lift up through the crown of your head. On your exhale, open up warrior two, so your chest turns to the side, the long edge of your mat. Arms come straight out, parallel to the floor. Inhale, reverse your warrior, flip your front palm up to the sky. Back hand lowers gently down your back thigh. And on your exhale, you'll take your right fingers all the way out in front of your right foot. Hop your back foot in a little bit, find half moon pose. Yeah, so the back leg can lift up parallel to the floor. Doesn't have to lift very high. Just make sure that your right leg is nice and strong. You can have a little bend in that knee. Straighten out the left leg as much as you can. Inhale here. And on your exhale, step back into your warrior two. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, spin your hands down to frame your front foot. Step back to a high plank or downward dog. Lower to chaturanga here if you like, or to the belly. Inhale, heart reaches forward, find cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale here together. Exhale, let it go. Step your feet a little closer to each other. Inhale, left toe reaches back. Exhale, stack open through the hips, keep pressing down through the palms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Set the back knee down. Inhale, reach high, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sink into the hips. And then inhale, resist that. Draw the inner thighs together, hug up through the low belly. Exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot, and then step the back foot up to meet it, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold in. And sit your hips low. Take your arms high and up overhead. Exhale, press into the feet. Hands come down into heart center. Tree pose on the left foot. Settle into your left foot. Bend your right knee, rotate here. Stay with your kickstand if you have trouble balancing, or take it to your calf or all the way up into your thigh. Lotus Mudra in front of your heart. Feel the outer hips hugging into the body. Everything zipping up through your center line, making you nice and strong, balanced, and tall. Standing solid in your foundation. Once you feel it, bring your mudra up to your third eye. Thumbs press in the center of your eyebrows. Rotate your right knee to face forward. Then really, really slowly have a bend in your left knee. Step the right foot all the way back on your mat. Set up warrior one legs. Deep bend into your front knee. Press the whole back foot down and make sure your back toes are turning up a little bit of an angle. Inhale, reach up through the crown of your head. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Make your stance a little wider if you need to. Chest faces the side of your mat. Inhale, flip your front palm to the sky, reverse your warrior, keep that bend in your front leg. And then exhale, bring your left fingers all the way down, a little in front, a little to the outside of your left foot. Hop your right foot in, find your balance here on your left foot, and then start to lift up through your right leg. Find Ardha Chandrasana or your half moon pose. If you need a challenge here, you can turn your gaze out to the side or even to look up at your top hand. One more inhale. Exhale, slowly, slowly step back. Find warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, spin your hands down to the mat. Step back to plank pose. Take your vinyasa here if you like. Inhale, open across your heart, gaze up. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale, release the breath. We'll take that one more time on each side. Step your feet in close together. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, stack the hips open, press through the palms. Inhale, square off, lengthen. Exhale, step the right leg forward. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step your back foot up to meet your front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Sit the hips low, reach the arms high. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, press into the feet, hands into heart center. Inhale, tree pose on your left side. Exhale, lotus mudra in front of your heart. Inhale, bring your lotus mudra up to your third eye. Exhale, knee through the center. Step that foot all the way back on your mat. Inhale, lift up through the crown of your head. Exhale, warrior two. Gaze out over your front fingers. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, half moon pose. Inhale, find your deepest expression of your half moon, whatever that looks like. Exhale, step back, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, spin your hands down, frame your front foot, square off, step back plank, take your flow here. Deep breath in your downward dog. Exhale, let it go. Feet come a little closer. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, stack the hips open. Inhale, square off, lengthen through the left leg. Exhale, step your foot up to the top of your mat. Set your back knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, frame your front foot with your hands. Step your back foot up to the front of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. And sit your hips low, stretch your arms high, chair pose. Exhale, press into the heels, come up to standing hands to your heart. Inhale, tree pose on the left foot. Exhale, lotus mudra right in front of your heart. Inhale, draw your mudra up to your third eye. Exhale, knee comes through center, slowly, slowly, step it all the way back. Inhale, warrior one with lotus mudra. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Sink into your front knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, half moon pose. Keep those left toes pointing straight forward. Inhale, reach your top arm high. Kick your right heel back hard. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, spin the hands down. Step back through plank pose, lower halfway. Inhale, heart forward, upward dog, cobra. Exhale, hips reach up and back. Inhale here. Exhale, set the knees down, sit back, find child's pose. Inhale, ground down to your forehead, settle in. And take a couple more breaths here. Slowly start to walk your fingers back towards your knees. Sit over to one side. We'll find a Navasana pose. So take your feet out in front of you, lean about halfway back. Bring your shins up parallel to the ground. Let go, reach your fingertips forward. Keep nice and wide across your chest. On an inhale, lower halfway, Ardha Navasana. On your exhale, pick it up with bent legs or straight. Inhale, lower halfway. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Exhale to lift. 5 more. Inhale, lower down. Exhale lifts you up. Last 4. Inhale, open. Exhale, lift. 3 to go. Inhale, lengthen as you lower. Exhale, keep your heart open as you lift. Last 2. Inhale. Exhale to close. 1 more. Inhale, lower halfway. Exhale, lift up. Grab hold of the backs of your thighs. Roll all the way down onto your back. Hug the knees into your chest. Breathe in. Exhale, set your feet down on the floor right in front of your hips. Keep your heels in close to your glutes. Press your hands down next to your body. Inhale, lift up, bridge pose. Stay here for your exhale. Inhale, lift a little higher. You might interlace the hands, roll the shoulders underneath the body, or grab the outer edges of your yoga mat. Press into your heels, lift up. Exhale, release the hands, lower down. Second round, press into the heels, make sure the knees stay hips distance. Lift up through the hips. Stay for your exhale. Interlace the fingers the opposite way if you took the grip in the first round. Tuck the shoulders underneath your body, open the chest. Inhale. Stay here. 1 more breath. Exhale, release the hands, lower down. Step the feet wide, windshield wiper right and left. A couple times to each side. And then making sure it doesn't bother your lower back. Draw the knees in, rock your way up. You can roll over hands and knees so you come so you're sitting up on your knees. We'll set up for camel pose. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Start with your toes tucked under. Bring your hands to your low back, fingers pointing down. And before you do anything else, draw the elbows in toward each other, open your chest. Keep the sitting bones reaching down toward your knees, so you tuck the tailbone down towards your knees a little bit. Inhale, open the chest, gaze a little bit up, and you might stay here. You might draw the elbows even closer together. Keep that posterior tilt in your pelvis, hip bones drawing forward and pressing over the knees. If it feels comfortable for you, you might reach back for the heels. Inhale, open across your chest. You might drop the head back if that doesn't bother your neck at all. And if you can still keep the hips stacked over your knees. And here is fine. With your hands supporting your lower back is fine. Here is fine. Anywhere you're getting a back bend, so whatever feels good for you. Inhale, when you're ready to come up, imagine a string pulling your sternum up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sit back onto your heels. Stay here for a breath. Second round of camel. Feel free to untuck your toes if you prefer that option, or keep them tucked. Make sure the knees are hips distance apart. Start with your hands supporting your lower back. Inhale, hips press up over the knees. Roll your elbows in toward each other, roll your shoulders back. Find length more than anything else in here. Inhale here. Maybe find your heels. Inhale, keep the hips stacking over the knees. Maybe let the head drop back. When you're ready to come out, imagine that string pulling up from the center of your chest. Bring your hands back to support your lower back. And let your head be the last thing to come up out of it. Sit back onto your heels. And bring your right fingers back behind you, left hand to your right thigh like we started our class. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. Another breath here. Come through center, twist the other way. Inhale, sit up tall, hug your ribs and your belly in. Exhale, maybe you look over the back shoulder if you need it in the neck. Another inhale. And another exhale. And come through center. I'll turn back to normal. We're going to set up for a rabbit pose. So you'll take the crown of your head down to the floor, forehead to your knees. I like to do this after camel. Grab hold of the backs of your heels. Then start to press your shins into the ground. Lift your hips up. No weight is going into the crown of your head. So you're stopping yourself by engaging your arms and holding onto your heels. Feel the rounding throughout your spine and your upper and mid back. Just reversing the effects of the back bend. Sit your hips back onto your heels. Come back up to sitting on your shins. We'll set up for a little bit of an inversion in our class today. If you know that you don't like being upside down, you can head to a wall and take your legs straight up the wall and you just lie there on your back. That counts as a very fine, very nice inversion for you. Otherwise, we're going to set up for a dolphin. So you'll set your elbows right underneath your shoulders, shoulder distance apart. Sometimes you grab the outer elbows just to give yourself a check, and then interlace your fingers out in front of you. Make sure you're pressing down through the pinkies, through the outer wrists, the outsides of the hands, the outer forearms, and the elbows. Those are pushing down the whole time. Your arms and your shoulders are very active. And then start to tuck your toes under. Your lower body will be like downward facing dog, so legs are as straight as they can be, feet hips distance, hips lifting up and back, and sitting bones reaching toward where the wall and the ceiling come together, up and back. And then low ribs hug in. You don't want them to flare out. That's taking some work out of your shoulders. It's also dangerous to your shoulders. Press down to your forearms as much as you can. And let your head relax. Let your neck relax as much as you can. And then once you're feeling comfortable here, you might choose to lift the right leg up for a few breaths. And keep the low ribs hugging in. They have a tendency to want to flare out. Lower the right leg down, lift up through the left leg. Hug in through the low belly and through the low ribs. Push down through the shoulders. Get as much rounding in the upper back as you can. Lower the left foot down. Inhale, lengthen through the torso. Push down through the forearms. And exhale, lower the knees down. My hood came on. So it's a very active shoulder strengthener, and that's something that's really good to do if you're working on forearm stand. You can hold that for 3 minutes 3 times a day, and it's really going to strengthen your shoulders. That's what I did when I felt like forearm stand would be impossible for me. I did that every day, and eventually I was able to do it even without the block. So it's a lot of shoulder strengthening and a lot of getting comfortable with that pushing and being upside down for a while. Second round, if you're tired, you can take legs up the wall. You can take another round of dolphin, or we'll set up headstand prep. If you have a headstand practice that you do regularly, feel free to take that. If you do headstand up a wall comfortably without kicking up, feel free to take that. Otherwise, we'll stay in the prep just because it's a video and I can't see you, so you do what you feel comfortable and safe with in your body. You set up almost like dolphin. Yeah, same format. Elbows are under the shoulder, shoulder distance apart. Fingers are interlaced. Some people tuck their pinky in so that it's not throwing them off. I don't, but sometimes when it's teaching, it's easier for everyone. So untuck your pinky so you have like flat in between your two pinkies. One's not higher than the other. And then just like rabbit, you're gonna put the crown of your head down on the floor and the back of your head is resting in your hands. You only ever want to have about 30% of the weight in your head. So not a lot of weight in your head. If all your weight is in your head, that puts your neck at risk. So head comes to the floor, but you're barely putting any weight on it. All of the weight is in your forearms, in your hands, in your elbows. Lift your hips up like dolphin. And here you just play with it, you explore. Is there a lot of weight in your head? Can you press down more into your forearms? Can you lift up your hips a little higher and walk your toes in? And then if you're feeling good here, you might choose to bend one knee in towards your chest. Maybe lower that foot down, bend the other knee in towards your chest. And then eventually, you get so comfortable being here that your feet float off the floor without needing to kick up, without a lot of weight in your head. When you're ready to come down, lower the knees down, walk your hands out, come into child's pose with the knees together. If your shoulders are tired, walk your hands back by your feet. Inhale, let the upper body round, let the shoulders relax. Exhale, sink in. And then unravel. We'll come around to a seat. Shift your hips over to one side. We'll take a figure 4, so you'll cross your right ankle over your left knee and walk your left foot in towards your body. Rock a little bit side to side. Just loosening up the outer hip. And straighten your left leg out. Bring the sole of your right foot into your left inner thigh. Inhale, sit up tall, face toward your left leg. Exhale, fold into Janu Shirsasana. On your inhales, lengthen out through the spine. And your exhales, deepen into the fold. Next, inhale, rise up. Stamp the right foot back down on the floor. Cross your left ankle over that thigh. Keep flexing through your left foot. Rock your hips a little side to side. Then straighten out your right leg. Bring the sole of your left foot to your right inner thigh. Ground through the sitting bones. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, fold in Janu on the right leg. Inhale, rise up. Straighten both legs out in front of you. Feet can be together or a little bit apart. Root down to your sitting bones and inhale, sit nice and tall. Exhale, try to bring your belly onto your thighs as you fold forward. Grab the feet if you like to, or just let yourself fold in. Inhale, rise up. And before we go to lay down, we'll come into a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. We'll take a little bit of alternate nostril breathing, which can be a really nice meditative practice since we're focusing on the crown chakra today, to bring ourselves out of the body and into that focused, aware, spiritual realm, spiritual aspect of ourselves. To set up for Nadi Shodhana, you'll take your right hand, and you bring the ring finger into the palm, so you have your pointer and your middle finger out, pinky and thumb out. Pointer and middle finger, you'll set it right on your third eye area in between your eyebrows. And then bring your pinky to close off your left nostril. Close your eyes here. Inhale through the right nostril. Retain the breath. Plug both fingers over your nose. Exhale out the left side. Release the pinky. Inhale through the left side. Close off both nostrils at the top. Exhale out the right side. Inhale through the right. Retain the breath, close off both nostrils. Exhale out the left. Inhale through the left side. Close off both nostrils. Exhale out the right side. Inhale through the right. Close both. Exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Close off the left nostril. Pause. Exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Retain. Exhale out the left. Inhale through the left. Close off both. Exhale out the right. Last time. Inhale through the right. Close in the center. Exhale out the left. Bring your hands down onto your thighs. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe normally through both nostrils. Blink your eyes open. That practice again is called Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. It helps balance the flow of energy between both sides of your body, the masculine, energetic side, the feminine, more emotional, feeling side. It can be a really good practice whenever you're feeling imbalanced, you're too scattered or too lethargic. It brings you back into more of a unified energy. So as you're ready, come down onto your back and we'll finish up our practice here. Draw your knees nice and tight up into your chest. Shift your hips a little bit to the left and let the knees fall together over to the right side. Spread your arms wide, gaze over your left shoulder. Easy recline twist. Bring the knees up through center, bump your hips a little to the right, and let both knees fall to the left. Gaze over your right shoulder away from your knees. And take the knees up through center, come onto your back. Straighten the legs up towards the sky. Reach the fingers in the same direction. Roll your wrists, roll your ankles. And then reach down in between your legs. Find happy baby. Bend your knees wide into your armpits. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Rock. And draw yourself back and through center. Give yourself one final squeeze. Bring your forehead up to touch into your knees. Inhale. And then exhale, open up. Spread yourself out into your Shavasana. And take the legs wide, hands up by your sides. And drop into your final meditation, your final resting pose. And bringing it all together, all of our chakra classes and chakra series, feeling everything unite into that balanced flow of energy in your body, and drop in. enjoy your Shavasana yogis for as long as you need to. And this could be the beginnings of a meditation practice for you. Maybe you don't have one, maybe you have one that's established. If you are interested in meditating together, definitely send me a message or drop a comment below, because I'm thinking about starting a meditation group or challenge while we're still here together in our quarantine. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed your practice today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.